Oh no, we'll stay here. We will be allowed to become citizens next year, so June 2023. That'll be 4 years, and we're looking forward to it.
I'm Dr. Chamonix Blanche, ex-corporate and academical, turned CEO and board member of several companies, and mother of 4 little extraordinary kids. But it wasn't that long ago that I lacked the confidence, the know-how, and the time to focus on designing and really going after the life that I so wanted to live. A life of freedom, of fairness, and of being fair dinkum to who I really was and what I wanted to get out of this fleeting time that we have on Mother Earth. Fast forward to many lessons learned and moving halfway around the world to the most amazing country, you'll see the life that I now live. One that gives me more safety and freedom than I ever thought would be possible, and that really only existed as a daydream while I was living in South Africa. I created Chamonix TV to give you true spot advice on how you can also live a life in this amazing country, and so that you can see how another couple like us now live in Australia with 4 little kids here in Down Under. And I'll be providing you with step-by-step strategies so that you can make your Aussie dream a reality too. If you're a keen future Aussie who's looking to create a life that excites you and offers you safety, freedom, and opportunity, you have come to the right place, my friend. Welcome aboard.
The solo drive to migrating to Australia can be pretty lonely, especially when you hit a bumpy part in the road. Joining our one-of-its-kind course where migration specialists teach you all things needed to be able to get visa ready, get a job, and make your way to Australia as soon as possible, as well as having a supportive community, can be the make or break of reaching your destination here in Australia. Now, Migration Made Easy is opening its doors again very soon. If you're ready to find your dream life and land that first Aussie job sooner, Migration Made Easy is the place to be. Join the waitlist and you'll receive some juicy bonuses when the doors open. Secure your place at chamonixtv.com.au/waitlist. Hi Gina, how are you? All the way from Brisbane today.
Yes, I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I am well, thank you. Lovely to chat to you. And how has the Brisbane floods been treating you?
Oh, it was a scary time. Luckily, we live on a hillside, so we managed to stay safe, but the surrounding area was quite flooded, using little boats to transport people up and down, and it was just very scary.
Did you say earlier, just before we started the interview, that you wanted to live near the seaside, like near the ocean?
Yes.
So you had water closer to home for a short while.
We had an ocean around the corner. We live very close to Brisbane River. So yeah, literally you turn right and right again, and the river's just half a kilometre away. So quite a bad flood zone.
Yes, it is. I know in that Indooroopilly, Milton section there, it was very flooded as well. So so tell us about your journey to Australia. Where did it start? When did it happen? And was Brisbane the landing place?
Yes. So in February 2019, I used to work at CCS in Pretoria, so near Irene. CCS does construction computer software, and we had a small branch here in Australia called FutureWorks. And I heard about a job opportunity there because we were thinking of immigrating. And I thought, oh, my chances are so slim, but I'm just going to send an email, send my CV, and just hope and pray that it all comes right. And I got a response within a day, and they were interested in sponsoring us. So, you know, it was firstly going to be a TSS, the 2-year visa, TSS 482. And then things just started rolling, and by the 26th of June 2019 we were here. We landed in Sydney and stayed with my brother and his sister and son for 2 days, and then we moved up to Brisbane because a close friend of mine is here, and we heard that there's a really nice school So that's how we ended up here.
Wow, that is awesome. From something you thought, maybe not, but I'm going to take a chance, to almost landing your dream. I won't say dream job, I don't know. But it sounds like it was something you wanted to do and you're happy to. Are you still doing that?
Yes, I'm still doing that. So with the TSS visa, we obviously, I worked the full term of the 2 years. And luckily, I think I did a good job because my boss said he would sponsor PR. So then we went the PR 186 route. And just before our 2-year visa was about to expire, so that would have been the 27th of May last year, we got the good news that the PR came through about 2 weeks before that.
Oh.
So
wow, what a relief. In the middle of COVID as well.
That's right.
Wow.
So we were very lucky. And I'm still doing the same job with the PR 186. You then obviously need to fulfill another 2-year term with your employer. And I'm quite happy because I'm still working with the team in South Africa. So I'm very blessed that I'm doing a job that I still love and I'm familiar with everybody.
That's incredible. Yeah. So what is your background? Do you have a computer degree?
No, I was actually an accountant, and one of the companies I worked at started using this software. And then the construction industry went through a bad patch in South Africa. And I applied at the actual software company that we just implemented. So, yeah, it was a big blessing to get in there when I did.
And as an accountant?
No, as a support person. So just doing technical support on the software and having to learn about all the programming side of things behind the scenes, and also having to do training, which I'm still doing training and I still get nervous every time.
Okay, but now you're doing the development part, or you're still in the support team, or which aspect are you doing now?
A bit of everything. So I implement, I train, do the technical support behind that, and then anything we can't handle in Australia, we escalate to head office in Pretoria. So we've got that backup.
Okay, so the software is made in South Africa.
That's right.
Made,
yes.
Written is probably a better way of saying it. You don't make software, you write software.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And tell me a little bit about your husband or your partner. How did that happen?
That was probably one of the harder sort of challenges about moving here. My husband was a financial manager. He was quite high up at Waco. He was at Kusile power station near Witbank. And when we moved here, I literally had to start traveling around. I had to go to Perth a week after we arrived and do an implementation. So my husband didn't have a job for the first 3 months of us being here. And that was something for us to get used to. He's Afrikaans and he wants to be the breadwinner. And this was a huge mindset change that he has to now be the housewife, take the kids to school and all of that kind of stuff. So that was a challenge. But once my work settled down, he then found a job doing contract work for government in the accounting department. And they sort of moved him around to different positions, all contract-based work. And yeah, now he's actually employed full-time as a financial controller, and he's loving it. He's not really the only breadwinner. I think I bring my fair share into it. We're both working now, so that's good.
That's good. Yes, I love it. It's like a team effort.
Yes.
It's not the one does more than the other. I'm sure that you both contribute to the homework equally as well, because you both
I think mom always does a bit more.
But it's good because it gives in perspective. The time that you were the breadwinner, it gave him that opportunity to see what it is that we as working mums go through as well. You know, we don't just sit at home and watch Orkney Snorkney. Remember
right.
that one?
Right. Yeah, and then another thing that was quite daunting for us was when we arrived, we just came with clothes. So we didn't ship anything over. We came with our suitcases. I think there was about 200 kilograms of luggage because I've got 3 daughters. And we didn't have a car. So we had to hire a car for 2 weeks, one of those big Kia Carnivals. And then eventually we had to buy a car cash because you can't get finance on that 2-year visa. So we really bought a skadonk of a Focus. But we made it work.
Have you since bought a new car?
Yes. When we got PR, we bought a new car within 4 days or something. It was our present to ourselves.
Our gift to, yeah. Happy PR. Woohoo, new car.
Yes.
Exactly. So did you get a 6, 7-seater or
a 7-seater?
5-seater. 7-seater.
Yeah, so we got a Mitsubishi, and my husband actually rides a motorbike now. He got his
that's handy.
license. So we've got the car, and then he can go off on his motorbike whenever he needs a breakfast run or whatever.
Very, very nice. And tell me about your daughters, your 3 daughters. How old were they when you guys came over?
So Tammy was 9. She actually turned 10 within a month of us arriving. And then Mickey was -2, so she was 7, and Kara was 4.5. And we actually arrived in the school holidays. They started school with, the new term being just after the winter holidays. And they actually adjusted very well because I'm English speaking. There wasn't too much of a language barrier at school. And yeah, they settled right in. They made friends quickly. I think we were more nervous about starting a new school than they were.
It's usually like that. The parents' stress, it just spills over to the kids without realizing that it does. And it's interesting how people are always so concerned, but how are the kids going to take the migration, and how are the kids this and that? And then in the end, the kids are over it, even like before the parents are over it, long before. It's like, you see, yeah. Very resilient. And do you guys speak English at home then?
We do speak English. Now and again, Francois does speak Afrikaans, especially when he's disciplining or angry. But he did say the other day that he's actually dreaming in English now. So I feel very sorry for him. He's losing his roots, but we've actually got Opa coming over on Wednesday afternoon, the first time in almost 3 years.
Oh, wow. How exciting. How long is he staying for?
He's staying for 1 month, and he could have actually stayed for 3 months, but he's got his little doggy at home, and he's staying in a lovely little cottage. So 1 month was enough for him.
And would that be the first visit over? I guess so, since COVID was in the middle.
That's right. Yes.
Wow. Okay. And how do you feel here in Australia? Do you feel like you've settled in?
You always miss home, just the little things. But I think once we can buy a house, we'll really feel like we're at home. We do feel very comfortable in this area now, and the school community. And yes, I would say we are feeling at home now.
Yes. Relaxed a little bit more than back in South Africa?
Yeah, definitely. I think the first 6 months when we arrived here, we just couldn't get over the fact that there was no burglar proofing on the windows, and people were walking at night and catching the bus. It's just mind-blowing. It really is. It's awesome.
The things that it should be normal, it just isn't normal anymore in South Africa. So what is a normal weekend look like in the Van der Merwe family?
We love the beach. So we try to go to the beach every second weekend, and we alternate. So from Kenmore to the beach is about 1.5 hours drive. If we go up north to Sunshine Coast, about 2 hours. And we love Malula Bar, which we couldn't pronounce when we got here. We were calling it Mulu Laba. And Noosa is amazing. And then Gold Coast we go to as well. Broad Beach, Surfers Paradise, lovely places.
Beautiful. So you just come and hang at the beach and swim and.
Yes, yeah. And the theme parks, of course. So we did.
I'm sure you've done them all.
Yes.
With the ages of your daughters now, I'm just trying to think. So that'd be about 13.
So now Tammy's 12 and Mika's 10 and Kyra's 7. So we'll be going to theme parks for a couple of years still.
The nice thing is you can buy the annual passes and then you can just go as many times as you like, which actually turns out to be a good deal compared to buying a once-off pass. Yeah,
that's right. Much cheaper.
And and family, you get the family passes as well. That includes obviously a family. So yeah, very good.
Yeah, I think that the family, with us being 5, family packages are normally 4. So we always find, even with hotel bookings, having that third child is a challenge to get family.
No, it's the same for us. I've got 4 kids.
Okay.
For us, it's always if it was just us, we would fit into one room, because that's how, like, we traveled around Australia in a motorhome for 4 months. We can fit into a small space.
Okay.
So we're happy to sleep in one room. Usually they've got like a couch or a sleeper's couch in the one room, but you know how the rules and regulations are in Australia.
No.
If you're too many people, according to the health and safety rules of Australia, you're not allowed to share a room. I'm like, come on, we're happy to all sleep in one bed. No.
Yeah, exactly. Camping is also fun. We only started camping here. We never used to camp back home, and that's a lot of fun. We have 3 tents. Daddy sleeps in his own little tent, and the girls sleep in theirs, and I sleep in mine, and we have lots of fun camping as well.
Yes, it's beautiful. So are you camping around the Brisbane area? Have you been to the Stradbrokes, North and South?
Yes, Stradbroke we've been to, not for camping, but we've been to North and South Stradbroke, just Airbnb. And then the camp spot we like is Boring Point, which is near Noosa.
Oh, I love Noosa. It's so gorgeous. Have you tried Fraser Island yet?
No, we haven't. That'll be the next one.
Yes, just make sure either you have a 4x4 or you rent a 4x4, because you can go on driving on the beach there. There's no proper road, so you'll need some off-road vehicle to go to Fraser Island. And again, it's an incredible experience, because when Carla, my husband, pre-kids, went to Fraser Island, you literally camp on the beach.
Oh,
and
wow.
they also have the air flight, the landing strip of the airplane is the beach. Like, it literally, and we saw these signs as we were driving on the beach, to just having a look, see what it looks like, the island. Then every now and again we'll see, probably about twice, we saw like a sign that says aircraft landing strip, and we're like, like, it doesn't make sense. You're on the beach, like, and didn't see anything then. And so we found this beautiful spot. We thought, okay, we'll just camp here for the night, put up our 2-man tent with our rented 4x4 or hired, because we didn't have a 4x4, just a little whatever buggy it was.
Yeah.
And slept there the night, woke up, and early the next morning we hear this, and we're like, lo and behold, there's an aeroplane coming. And it's landing right in front of us.
Unbelievable.
In the stretch where that thing was, I said, not like we can't it's on the beach, but it's, in more like the duney kind of, or out of, not the flat, literally the part, because the flat part is where the water rises and go, up and down. So we didn't want to be where the flood would, like the tide was going to get us. So we just camped outside of the tide line. And there was this aeroplane landing, and we're like, well, now we know what it's about. It's actually really a landing strip. It's incredible. It's really, and we saw dingoes there, and it's beautiful.
Oh, we must go.
Yes. So tell me a little bit about your girls. Are they now happy here in Australia? Are they all settled in?
Yes. The eldest one, Tammy, she started grade 7 this year. So high school starts 1 year earlier than back home. And that was a bit mind-blowing for us because she still seems like my baby, but she's in high school and loving it. And the other two are still at Chapel Hill State School, and they just love school. When I drop them off, they run. They can do horse riding close by, so they love doing horse riding club. And what else do they do? Gymnastics. So lots
Wow,
of
very active.
yeah.
So the two youngest ones are state school. Is your high school daughter also in the state school?
Yes, that was also another reason for coming to Australia. Is we just, firstly, you want to save on medical aid. So, they've got Medicare here, but we do still have a hospital plan. And then, of course, private schooling is just not necessary. I think it depends on which area you live in, but the state schools in this area are lovely, and we just didn't need to worry about private school.
Very, very true. The quality of the state schools are incredible.
Yes.
If I have to think about what, I come from a small regional town in South Africa, and what we had when our kids are now in a private school, but they were in a public school up until like very recently. Yes. And they have just absolutely enjoyed it. And it's a beautiful, so everything that you there's nothing that you don't have in a public school. It's the state just supplies, and great teachers as well. And yes, and it's free.
Computers and everything, their computer education is amazing.
And it's free.
Yeah.
Free. like literally free. People don't understand, it's free. There's no school fees. It's free. So yes, that's just incredible. I do agree with you. You definitely don't need to do private school if you don't want to. I know sometimes South Africans say, oh, the level of the Australian schooling is this and that. Not from what we have experienced. In fact, exactly. So many that I speak to of from the horse's mouth people, interviewees that I talked to, just the lady earlier was saying her children actually were behind when they got into school here. They realized that, the level from what they were versus signing up to Australian school was behind. So it's interesting how I think it's a misconception in South Africa.
Yes, I found that especially with reading. Mika was in grade 1 in South Africa, and she joined here in grade 1, middle of the year, and she was far behind on her reading. I mean, it was unbelievable. And they put her in a reading group, and she reads beautifully now. You'd never say she was one of the far behind kids.
Okay, and how has your husband settled into his job? Is he...
Oh, he's fine. He's look, obviously getting used to the tax system, the ATO as opposed to SARS. That was quite challenging, and lots of red tape, especially in the construction industry. So once he got over all of that and he did his research and he spoke a lot with accounting firms to try and up his game. Now he's quite comfortable with, they call it BAS reporting. So that's actually in South Africa like your VAT returns. There are lots of funny little names for things that we weren't familiar with that he's now used to.
Yes, it takes a while to get your head around because there's so many of it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, and all the acronyms. And they just talk about BAS. It's like, business activity statement. That if you said that, maybe that would make a bit more sense.
Yeah, exactly. And of course they have GST and not VAT and, all those little things. But within a couple of months, he was fine.
And are you working from home regularly or do you go into the office? How's your work scenario?
Because we're all over the place. So my colleagues are based in Perth, Adelaide, Sydney. We're all over the place. We don't have an office, so we all work from home. And then, of course, when we do have a new client, we travel to that client wherever they are in Australia. So I've been pretty much everywhere except Melbourne and Northern Territory. It's hopefully I'll still get there at some point.
But that's nice. So you get to see the place on your work budget.
That's right.
How long does it take for you to do a client installation, just out of interest?
The one I'm busy with now is quite a big company, so that's about 6 weeks. But smaller companies you could do comfortably in 2 to 3 weeks.
So 6 weeks, not all on site. You can do some of it remotely.
On site. So everything's done from home, the preparation, teams training, and then I'll visit them when they're ready to do their first month end, and hold their hands, go through month end.
It's very exciting to know that it's a South African software company that's essentially doing so well in Australia. Is it only in South Africa and in Australia at the moment?
No, we've got a UAE division. We're in the UK, but in South Africa, it's very widely used. Avenge Group, Basil Reed, I think Marion Roberts using Candy. So we've got the bigger clients in South Africa, and here in Australia, we've only got 11 clients now, and they're sort of 15 to 30 user type of clients, not the big 5 type of clients that we normally
That's okay have. There's a lot of time, you can get there still.
We're trying to reach out there with word of mouth, and
awesome.
Lots of our deals come from South Africans that have actually immigrated, and then they end up working at these companies, and then we get a word of mouth referral.
But that's the best. Word of mouth is absolutely the best way to go about. And that says a lot about your company, because, if you were selling trash, they wouldn't be doing the word of mouth.
Yeah.
Great. It's been lovely chatting to you. Thank you so much, Gina, for your time and for sharing your story. What a beautiful journey you guys have had in making this your home. Do you think you'll stay in Australia, or do you think you'll venture to another country?
Oh no, we'll stay here. We will be allowed to become citizens next year, so June 2023. That'll be 4 years, and we're looking forward to it.
Oh, so exciting for you. Well done. And yes, enjoy the time here with your 3 daughters, because from my experience in Australia, you actually have more quality of life, and you have more time that you can spend with the people that you love, instead of trying to work another few hours to earn a little bit more so that you can buy more security for your home.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you so much
to chat to you.
Okay.
It's my pleasure. Enjoy your day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Gina. Bye.
All right. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you had fun, please remember to hit that subscribe button, and then it'll make sure that you never miss a thing. I'll see you same time and same place next week. Bye for now.